Welcome to the Paranormal Podcast. I am your host, Sean, aka Paranormal Nut, and with us today we have not only our good friend Jim, but a
Hey guys.
special guest we're going to be interviewing. Sorry, I'm going to botch this every time I say it. Erin, is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So this episode is going to be a bit different. Normally, we would have some form of topic, and me and Jim would discuss it. This episode's all about starseeds, and Erin is in fact a starseed herself. So we thought it would be a good idea to sit down and interview her and get her perspective on the topic and learn what we can. And with that, I guess the question I want to kind of start this off with, Aaron, is what is a starseed?
Okay. So a starseed is basically I am a six-dimensional Andromedan being, and I am inside a third-dimensional body that was altered before I came here. I was altered genetically to match my frequency, so I do not get pushed out of the body when I am living my life, so I don't get kicked out
Yeah.
by the body.
Before you go on, so that's what you are. Uh, is every starseed a six-dimensional being in a?
No,
No, okay. So then, in general, a starseed would be just any alien altered being, human. Is that kind of a better way to put it?
yeah, anyone from higher dimensions.
So any dimension. Okay. Um, Continue on and explain, I guess, more what that means to be a six-dimensional being in a third-dimensional body.
So the closest thing I could describe to a sixth dimension is the Naruto anime. I
Okay,
don't
I
know
think
if
me
you
and Jim have
watched
both
it.
watched it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's still some physics and still some concepts of what reality of what a built world is, but we can mold it very easily. I don't do hand signs. I think most of the beings don't do hand signs,
But
but
they should be doing hand
They should be
signs.
doing hand
Yeah.
signs.
but we could do pretty much the same things that they could do in the anime. So I could
Shut up,
manifest
Kid.
things instantly. I could change my clothes instantly. I could create different lightning, fire
So
elements.
you're choosing not to do the hand signs, so you're wrong.
I don't know them. That's the
Okay.
thing.
Just
It,
make at
of
that point
course,
you just
there's
make up
some
your own,
beings that
right?
probably do use them, and
Right.
they do use magical type of more of like they incorporate magic like symbology and words and
So with
You see
images.
runes
yeah.
everywhere.
Is it almost as easy for so these manifestations, are you creating them in the third dimension or are you creating them in your sixth dimension?
When I'm in sixth dimension, when I'm
Okay.
out of my body.
Okay. And are you while you are in the sixth dimension, I guess maybe I know dimensions get crazy, right? When you are in the sixth dimension, are you creating manifesting things in the third dimension or just the sixth dimension?
Only sixth,
Okay.
but the thing is, they're all interconnected. So if I alter something in the sixth dimension on Earth, it eventually will bleed through into the third because the
Oh, like
dimensions are all.
ripples and
So
cause and
is
effect.
is the third dimension more of a like a prison vessel for like fourth, fifth, and sixth like beyond dimensions? Like the matters like what kind of holds that your astral body in.
It's more like a blueprint
Okay.
for the lower dimensions. So it's for so the sixth dimension is more like the blueprint for the lower dimensions. So it's the blueprint for the fifth, fourth, third, and it and the fourth is the closest blueprint to the third. So whatever you do in the fourth, it directly affects the third. So the closer you're to the dimension, the more the effect is on that dimension.
Okay. So I guess blueprint might be not the best word, but it's almost like the interior of it. Is that does that make sense? And you're kind of working with it.
It's kind of like the beginning of manifestation, and then it dances down into the dimensions.
Okay, that's like I don't know. There's nothing
I think
really like it.
I think you're thinking about it in reverse, Sean.
I think I might be.
Where physical, you're thinking physical is more of when it comes to dimensions. The third is where we have like physical, like I have a controller right here. You know, you can hold it, but in a fourth, fifth, and sixth, it's more of an energy kind of thing.
Okay.
So in a theme of things or in the rule of things, where since we're in a lower dimension, matter would be a lower than what energy is.
Yep, it's just
Where
a denser energy,
yeah,
a less malleable energy.
Okay, that's interesting. Um, please go on. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to even frame questions since I'm so out of my element here. You know, literally, I think at this point,
you fucking idiot.
I'm just hey,
I'm
I'm
just
just a
kidding.
third dimensional being trying to figure out higher concepts than my own, and it's kind of hard. I'm sorry.
Um, well, if you've seen some people, there have been some people who have enough energy to bend like some little elements, like maybe like a needle, like bend it
Or a
with their
spoon.
energy.
And those are
So
more
It's
like
it's like psychic,
yeah, like psychic people and mediums and people who are more attuned.
yeah,
cadaver.
they some people have enough energy to even bend this reality to some degree. The
I am
maximum
not
I
one of
could
those
do is
people.
like move a little needle on like a string. That's the most I could do with my energy.
Hmm.
But in the astral,
That's more than I can do. So kudos to you and doing that. Um,
yeah.
so
She's
what?
mastering the sixth dimension. I can
Right?
barely master the third.
I I I can't even draw properly. I'm still trying to figure out the second dimension. Then I'll get up here and figure all my life stuff out. Um, so when did you kind of discover being a star seed and a six dimensional being and all of this, all of the above?
I didn't discover it until I was maybe 18, 19. I started to remember things little by little. And I actually started to see myself in my head as a blue bald creature. And I was feeling like this body is kind of feels and looks strange to me. Like, I don't know, it
Did
just
it
felt
feel wrong?
strange. Yeah, it felt
That's
wrong.
so. I don't know much about um, the astral stuff, and I know we've talked about it briefly, but we'll get into you being an Andromedan and what that means. But I like to draw the parallels here because the most I kind of understand the astral space is with remote viewing, which I kind of got into. Not me, but I looked into it, and then a lot of those remote viewers end up trying to do astral projections themselves. And they were saying the same thing with you is when they would astral project, there was just this wrongness coming off of their third dimensional body. And that like it was almost like a fear of facing that. Is that something you experienced?
Mm, well, when I first started to see kind of in my mind, I started to see myself as a different person. It kind of felt like I don't like the my skin color just looks strange, and the way I look strange, and I have hair. It's like kind of feels like some like just the body just feels strange. That's
Hmm.
all I was getting.
So you felt like uneasy with yourself and you didn't feel like it was the natural you?
Yeah, that's exactly. Just didn't feel like it was natural.
And so you started getting these feelings or kind of I don't even want to call them feelings, I want to call them like intuitions that you were not yourself. Is that a good way to put it? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, at the beginning, but then I got used to. I just got over it. But I didn't have that when I was little. It was just like a little time of frame that I felt this way, and then I got over it.
Okay. And so, do you were you altered from birth before you came into the world, or was it at a certain point you were altered in your life?
Most likely, my mom was abducted when I was still getting conceived, and that's when the body was altered.
Yeah, and that is pregnant women being abducted is probably the most, I think, common occurrence of abductees. I don't have the numbers on that, but it is almost like the um,
Number one, not victim, but well, I
yeah,
guess you can say victim of
yeah, the
the
number one victim,
abduction.
or at least a very popular victim of alien abduction and whatnot is usually pregnant women. Pregnant women, so that would make sense. And so, and we'll touch upon this. You, as a sixth dimensional being, are claiming to be an Andromedan. Is that did I say that correctly?
Yep.
And we've actually talked about Andromedans before on our alien tier list, Jim, if you recall.
I
Uh,
do recall.
I have no idea what we said about them, but if I insulted them by any means, I'm
They're
sorry.
badass. I think they were S tier, actually.
I think we said they kind of looked. Never mind. I'm not going to say that while you're here.
They look
But
like the attractive girl from Mass Effect.
yeah. Um, So was it? Do you believe the Andromedans altered you, or did someone alter you to be an Andromedan? Yeah.
Most likely it was the Greys, the Zeta Greys. They're kind of are sent by the beings who they kind of give them orders. Different beings from different planets give them
Well,
orders, and they
the
come.
great the Greys have always been known as a where they don't have a mind of their own.
Yeah,
They
they've always been
kind of
like
like
puppets
worker
and
drones.
tools of other
Yeah,
beings.
so that actually falls in with what
Yeah,
you're
I was
saying.
about to say the exact same thing. And I know
Well,
these
they're
what,
they're kind of plant beings. They're
plant
very similar.
beings.
Yeah, they're very similar to plants.
That
Hmm.
is interesting, and I do think I
You
heard.
heard it here first on the Paranormal Nut Podcast.
I don't know if that's breaking news because I think what she's harping on, or not harping on, but suggesting, some people have actually suggested before, or have been told by these beings or told by somebody else that they exist off of like photosynthesis or a process
Yeah.
similar to.
Yep.
Well,
So,
that's you see what was it? They were what's that word when you kill something and like where it's like they can't eat. They absorb through their skin. So
oh,
they would kill livestock and instead of like eating it, they would just like put the nutrients on their body and it absorbs through their skin.
oh yeah, similar to as like when if you had a skin treatment. I can't science the
Yeah.
word out of my brain right now
And that's why they say they have small mouths and everything because
because they
they're
don't use their
like
mouths to eat.
or
And
talk because
yeah,
they
I
use
don't remember this. I don't know about whether they use their mouth to eat or not, but I do know they're plant beings.
hmm, interesting. So
So they're
think
kind of
twice
like
about watering your plants, people. They might come and
they're,
get you.
yeah, they're kind of like our evolved version of the trees that we have here on Earth,
Oh,
we
okay.
should have put that
with
picture of
legs
the
and arms that
potato.
walk around.
That is that's very interesting. I'm glad you told us that. I wonder what else we're gonna get out of you. That's
Sean,
um,
what was that Reddit post you sent me with the English person that found the root in their backyard and it looked like exactly like an alien?
that one I don't want to bring up because after clear, maybe it was a cover up, but that quickly got debunked and was found to be a prop in a prop shop. Like,
Like 95% of everything gets debunked on Reddit
but then again, that could just
by
be
non-professionals.
people who know what's up are trying to silence the things.
Psyops,
Yeah, psyops left and right.
disinformative agents, they're
I'm
on
I'm
us.
counting the days till people start thinking we're psyops, and that's when we know we made it.
That's exactly.
Have you ever? Has anyone ever accused you of being a psyop yet?
Psyop.
It's like a disinformative agent, somebody who like spreads propaganda kind of thing
Yeah.
to make it sound.
Yeah. You would be a government spy who is giving intentionally wrong information to, you know, dissuade everyone from the truth.
At some point, I did do a little bit of that, but not from the government, from the Galactic Federation.
Oh, so you are a psyop.
I did,
She is a psyop.
but
She,
it wasn't um, because I was told to do that. It was because I was brainwashed to believe in certain things.
well,
Yeah.
let's go back. Galactic Federation. Explain it to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Tell us more
We
about.
want to know. We want to know.
You can't
Now-
just
now-
drop Galactic
Okay,
Federation.
yeah. But then it's
Casually,
like now I'm
almost.
in. Now I'm 100%
Yeah.
in.
I'm sold. I was sold beforehand, but I'm double sold.
So there's a thing that's going on that I really don't like about the Galactic Federation. There is this mental control, I would say, to some degree. Um, this idea that humans are the problem, and it's actually not only on Earth that's happening. It it's that idea is being given away in the Galactic Federation itself. So a lot of beings, when they look at Earth, they're like, "Oh, it's kind of their fault that the the reason why they have all these problems on Earth because they're terrible creators." So, so that's why a lot of beings don't interfere as much as they should be because of that manipulation that's going on. But I have a feeling that the Galactic Federation has been compromised at this point by the negative forces. They're, they
Now,
they kind of
negative. Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
they,
Finish.
they kind of leaked in by controlling the minds of with ideas, not like mental control like with technology, but with their implanting their ideas into the Galactic Federation and making them not do the job they're supposed to be doing.
I would like to, as embassy ambassador of the entire human race, tell all the other aliens out there and dimensional beings that we are the problem. We're your fucking problem because we're coming and we're gonna get you now. And we're gonna give you some managed
We're
democracy.
about to spread some democracy and liberate the galaxy.
Yeah, that is interesting. You say that though, because that
But it
mirror.
is true, you are our problem,
Well, can you go into that a bit more then?
basically, because the beings that are manipulating your world are forced in higher dimensions, and you are only third dimension. You're not supposed to be dealing with things that are above your dimension. So when they're saying, "Oh, you're supposed to learn how to control your mind, how to control your emotions, become better creators," and all these things that they're spreading around, it's like they're not putting an equal playing field here. They're making you fight with your mind against technologies that are more advanced than you. It's like they're not giving you technology so you have equal, so you're equal to them, and you're not in the same dimension even as those beings, and yet they're telling you like, "Oh, just make your mind better, be a better creators," but it's like you're not equal. You need the technology, you need.
Are these technologies the technologies we use on a daily basis, like YouTube, cameras, phones, on all that stuff? Are you saying that they kind of drip fed us this stuff to kind of railroad us into a certain way of a being? Is that what you're suggesting?
The technology you have is very low level compared to what the government has from the Galactic Federation and from the negative races.
0 point
So
energy.
yeah, so nothing that we use in our everyday is what you're saying. You're saying
Yeah,
higher up stuff.
yours is maybe 100 to a couple of 100 years behind from what they have.
I mean, I think most alien enthusiasts, ufologists, and all that would definitely stand by that statement, saying that there are devices that the military has, the governments have, that are just mind blowing. And the stuff that we're using today was like invented in the 50s and 40s, or
Yep.
invented, if you will. Um, and that was the whole thing behind Roswell, where people were describing fiber optic cables before fiber optic cables were a thing, I believe.
I want to go back. You were talking about negative entities. Can you go into that a little bit, like who they are that infiltrated the galactic government or federation?
So the thing is, the outside everything outside of this Earth is fifth dimensional. Only the Earth is like in a three-dimensional bubble. It is synthetically made to be in a three-dimensional bubble for a reason, because when there was a war in the universe, and they kind of ended up cornering a lot of negative beings on Earth, and they kind of left them there on Earth, and they put the Earth in a three-dimensional space so they cannot escape from there, from the Earth. But they figured it out how to escape. So now the only ones that are really trapped are the human race that is on Earth.
That lines up with a lot of. Are you familiar with the prison planet theories? Yeah, so that's exactly where, um, for whatever reason, and I guess the reasons are you're suggesting they wanted to trap us here. That there are devices on the moon that are forcing us to stay in this dimension and pretty much within our own space within that dimension. And there's a lot of interesting stuff on that. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on Prison Planet and what's on the moon and all that stuff. Um, so, with this Galactic Federation, what are all the beings associated with that? Could you go into more about that?
Oh, there's a lot of races. I don't even know all of them right now, because I still have some amnesia here on the third dimension. So
You brought up the Alpha Draconis,
yeah, some Alpha Draconis, Alpha
reptilians,
Draconians, also Andromedans, Pleiadians, Syrians, um, who else?
reptilians.
Positive ones only, uh,
Yeah.
with positive agendas. There is,
Whoa, you just dropped a bomb on me. Are you telling me that the reptilians are the good guys? I don't know.
some of them
Some
are.
some of them are.
Well, reptilians are
That's
different
a
from the draconians, right? That's the ones I think of.
well, the reptilians are under the Alpha Draconi. They're like, well, you were saying they were like a cousin, a distant cousin.
They're more like, we're kind of their ancestors. The the Alpha Draconians, the ones that are big ass dragons that used to roam Earth in the past. They're
We should have
kind
did
of
the episode on dragons, Jim. Why didn't we do the episode on
Fuck.
dragons?
Fuck.
they're the ancestors, and I don't know what these reptilians are mixed with, but they're kind of smaller, and but I feel like they're the answer. We're the ancestors. I have been a draconian long time ago, many incarnations ago. Alpha draconian looking big ass dragon thing.
Oh, sorry, I'm over here muted. So that's interesting. You say incarnation, which obviously implies reincarnation. So you're saying there is a cycle of reincarnation from one life to another.
Yes.
Very
And
interesting.
that's how your consciousness grows in it. So
Told you
basically
Jesus is an alien.
the people who are the ones that are more limited are the ones that had less lifetimes. So the more lifetimes you have, the more limitless you become, because you start to learn that there's more possibilities of other things to create. So yeah.
I saw a film on that where each person's life is like they're gaining experience through every life, and then like there's this like it was like this thing, and this guy dies, and he sees God, and God's like, oh, he's like, you're not going to remember this in your next life. He's like, well, I want to know why, what is the meaning of life? Why is this happening? And he was like, because you're going to become just like me.
Mm.
I've ascended beyond through the amount of lives that I lived through to get to this status that I've had, where you become limitless, like how
Hmm.
you were saying. It was just like a little animation to me.
Oh yeah. So okay, yeah. I've actually had talked with some psychics before, some psychic mediums, and they were doing numerology. I don't know if that holds any credence with you guys, but they did my name or whatever, and they said that I'm a number two, so like I'm like one stage away from incarnating into the next life as something else more positive, I suppose. So I might become a god next, Jim. So I will remember you and you weak mortals as I
And you
rule as
weak
a
mortals
tyrant
as
god. No,
it.
but do you? And I don't know anything about that. I don't even know if that fits within your understanding of the universe. Um, but I guess yeah, that kind of sounds very similar to what I was being told in that.
So let's bring up like what people see as a god in the astral realm. Like we were talking about this before, where what where would it like it doesn't even have to be like what is it, or the god Christian god or like Greek gods, like what is it like, do gods exist in the astral realm, or is they just ascended beings? What's your story on
This
it?
is a very interesting thing because I had a lot of resistance from people when I said these things before. Um, but this is my understanding of what creation is and what existence is. So, and that comes from the higher realms of me. I got this information from higher realms. Um, so, so consciousness is basically, so we create an existence, and in that existence is basically created out of consciousness, and that consciousness is every single matter that we see around us, every single thing that's in creation. And it also is what we experience with our senses as well. So it creates matter, and it also experiences the matter through bodies and different things like that. So first we come here as complete amnesia of who we are as a existence, as a creation, that we're everything all at once. And then through different experiences, we start to remember who we are by contrasting of what we're not to what we are. And learning but of who we are by contrasting of, for example, we learn of how limitless we are by contrasting it with how limited we are in different dimensions. um, Different dimensions have their own limit of how much you can create on it. And if you go beyond that, if you go beyond creation and existence itself, you're actually non-existence. So before existence there was non-existence. So in reality, we're at some point, everything that we created and everything that exists is going to go back to nothingness again. And then I don't know how it starts creation again. Maybe there's some kind of spark or some kind of desire or something that
Big Bang.
that sparks the whole thing again. I think Big Bang, they were talking about more of this universe. I'm talking about all universes and all of
Mm.
creation on every single dimension and timeline, and every single thing that exists and ever existed will
Yeah.
ever exist.
That sounds a lot like the law of one theories I read up on in the past a while ago. Do you know anything about the law of one and that? Uh, theory? Is that kind of similar?
Yeah, yeah, we're kind of like a little fraction of everything, and we're experiencing as a separate to learn of what oneness is by contrast by being separate.
That is just a lot to like handle. It's hard to even comment on this stuff. Like,
So,
yeah.
which means if we at some point go into nothing in non-existence, everything that we're doing here has no meaning to begin with.
I mean, that
But
is
we're
definitely a way
experiencing
to
it
interpret it,
just for
but
the fun
I
of
kind of
it.
want to kill myself.
no,
Kidding.
I mean there's a lot of nihilism in that, but I think there's a lot of misconstruing and misinterpretation. I think that means it is the most important thing you could do at that point, right? If nothing means anything, then the choices you make actually mean something, right?
That makes sense.
Well, that's just my thought process. Um, so that is definitely a lot to process. I think we're gonna kind of wrap it up here after we're slightly over the 30-minute point. Is there any key things you wanted to get out while we're still? Is there anything you needed to want to tell people, or at least just me and Jim? No one cares about the rest.
There's a lot of things I could tell people right now.
Batman.
Do you have your own social media or YouTube or anything like that you'd want to share with everybody that you communicate with these people on?
I do, but for now, I will keep it a
All
secret.
right, all right.
Link in bio. No, I'm just kidding.
You can
So,
try.
well, I thank you. Well, we're not done, so I won't say goodbye yet because we have my favorite part of the Paranormal Nut podcast, where we do Paranormal Grab-bag. And for those of you who watch the show, we bring up 3 videos that I've found just randomly on the internet, and we just kind of look at them, we watch them, and we give our opinions. And you guys can give your opinions in the comments below. All right. So you want to stick around and watch some random internet videos I found in regards to the paranormal?
Yeah, she does.
All right. So this one was apparently in Sweden in this January, and I'm just going to share it, and you guys tell me what you think. All right, or maybe not January. Maybe
Is that the Enterprise?
it looks like half of it.
Yeah, it looks like just the top part.
It's hard to tell. I have no other. There's nothing in reference here because this could literally be something that someone just like whipped up and made, and it's just like a drone. But it is. I like the shape of it. The shape is very interesting.
I'm saying it. It's a UFO. I'm calling it. It's pretty cool looking though.
Yeah.
It's almost like in the shape of the Tic Tac a little bit. I get that's a disc, I guess, but like at certain angles, it looks like the Tic Tac.
Yeah, it definitely has a more of a disc shape. What do you? Is this anything that you're aware of, Ewan?
I don't know why, but it gives me a Venus human ship
Well,
vibes.
you can't just say Venus human and like, are there humans on Venus?
Yes.
We don't have time to get into that. Oh, okay. We'll talk about humans on Venus on another time. We'll bring you back on. But you think this kind of looks like something they are known for?
It does look somewhat to it.
Do Venus humans normally have the disc-shaped UFO? Is that where that comes from?
In the past, they used to have a disc-shaped UFO, and it kind of looks like it. It looks like a more updated version of that.
Interesting. I don't know where I stand on this one. There's just
You
not
just be
enough.
dropping bombshells
Yeah,
on us.
right.
Whole
Every time
episode.
she says something, it just destroys my like reality, and I'm not okay with it. No, it's great. I love it. And yeah, I don't know where to stand on this one. I'm gonna leave it up to the.
I say
our
it's
viewers.
real.
Jim says it's real. I don't know. I'm still
It
50-50
looks
on that.
real.
You think it looks real?
Yeah.
Okay. And this one, shifting from aliens, where we go into ghosts. This one, maybe it's not a ghost, but it definitely is interesting. So this is just a father taking a nap with their kids, and well, I'll play that.
Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck, man.
What did he see?
I'll play it
Fuck
again.
Yeah. Nothing
What?
but
I
fuck
didn't
here.
see anything.
Oh
All right,
my
at the
god.
very
I'm
beginning.
not gonna lie. That guy looks like a
Get
djinn
goosebumps. Oh my god.
I mean, he just looks like a normal guy to
What
me,
the
but
fuck is
from
that?
Supernatural.
oh, see this? You can't really see my mouse, but the top right corner, you can kind of see what looks like a shadow, like a almost like a shoulder.
Shadow people.
You
I
see it
get
better
you.
there.
Yeah. Can't
Oh,
people get
shit.
good fucking cameras?
I mean, it's at night. He's recording a Snapchat for his probably wife or something.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Nothing the fuck here. Oh my god. I'm so. Oh my god. Look, legit goosebumps.
He does look
Oh my
legitimately
god.
scared.
He does.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's creepy. Shadow people are
Yeah, that's what I
interesting.
was thinking. It might be he saw a shadow being. That's an alien species that's like between fourth and third dimension, so they're really easy to see.
She's
And they
doing it.
look like humans too.
A shadow
Dropping it on us
being is
again.
not a ghost; it's an alien. What?
You heard
Oh
it
my
here first on a
god!
Paranormal Nut podcast.
Wow, that is.
Yeah,
Jim, I
shadow
don't.
beings. Well, they call them shadow beings here, but they're an alien species that are really close to the third dimension, so they're mostly confused for ghosts because they're visible
Okay, then that alien has
to
to
the naked eye.
explain why it's just hanging out in this dude's room while he's trying to hang out with his
Yo,
kids.
maybe he's
Because
just
that's
trying to be part of the
sus.
family.
They often share space with the third dimensional humans.
Oh, so that shadow being can kind of is just
Oh, like
doing
he
its
phased in and
thing.
out of the dimension.
Mm.
Yeah, he kind of became a little bit too third dimensional, and he saw the
Don't you hate
being.
that, Jim, when you accidentally just slip into another dimension?
I know, right? Don't mind me over here. I'm not doing anything. I hope a shadow person doesn't give me a hand job or anything.
I know what you're referencing. I saw that the other day, and it was hilarious. You probably actually sent it to me.
Oh yeah, with the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So this is our last paranormal grab bag for the day. Um, and this one, it's funny you bring up Jin because this is a Jin allegedly.
The dad's.
Before I
That's
start
the
this,
dad. I see him again.
before I start this, are you gonna blow my mind about Jin and tell me that they're also an interdimensional being?
I
Because I want
don't
to get
see
that out of the
anything
way.
here. It's an empty room. Why am I
Well,
looking
I'm gonna
Talking
play it
to
here in
the
a second,
ghosts
but
then.
before you blow my mind about something, I wanted to prep and make sure, Legends of Jin and Genie and all that stuff, are they considered any interdimensional beings that you're aware of?
It depends what you mean by jinn. A jinn is a. What do you describe as a jinn?
It's like
Uh,
a Arabic
a
demon slash
elemental spirit, I
yeah elemental
guess.
spirit. Yeah.
A demon, yes, I do. Elemental spirit, they're more, well, from what I know, they're more positive vibration.
So
Um,
probably not this guy. Let me roll into this video.
يجب أن أوافق. طيب أنت شو اللي طلعك
Do you
هون؟
have
وليش
eyes on
وجهك
his forehead?
اختلف؟
I don't know. His forehead does look shiny, and his face looks warped.
شو اللي
I don't
جابك
speak
هون
whatever
أنت؟
language they're
He's having a
speaking.
straight conversation with it.
Yeah. Maybe I need to run this through voice recognition and get a translation.
Looks like the kid from the garage. fucking pops its head out again, I'm gonna fucking punch my monitor.
I don't think this is real.
You don't think this is real?
CGI.
Well, we'll see. Let's finish it first before we give our judgments.
We'll just
طلع فوق.
Yo, be a man, go in there.
To be honest, if I see this in Nashville,
I did know that was a hard cut. If you noticed, as I edit some of this stuff, but I think you might be onto something. Notice the footage, or hold up, let me scoot it back a little bit. See that right there, like how it cuts and jumps. So that's, to me, sounds like an edited video, or looks like an edited video. So I think you called it right. I think this might be fake. What is that?
الرحمن الرحيم.
I don't know.
أنا لغاية الآن مش موافق أفوت على اللعبة.
And that's it. So
It looks like it was.
Yeah,
It looks like it was caught on a phone from like
that,
GTA.
though, in the astral.
You have?
Yes, but if I see something like that, I'm getting my sword out and I'm getting my weapons out.
Exactly.
I'm not talking to that thing. I'm like,
yeah, I don't. Just because there was that hard cut there, I don't think that one's real. I don't know what their doll or costume they're wearing, but it does not look real. All right. Well, that's all we have.
I'm going into astral soldier mode if I see something like that.
So I think, we're already at 42 minutes, so I should cut the podcast here. Thanks for coming with us, Erin. And thanks for just sharing that wealth of knowledge you have. And it has definitely opened my mind a bit about a lot of things and how they could be not exactly as we perceive them. Like, just for instance, the shadow being an alien, like that changes a lot of, I do a lot of ghost hunting, and now it's like, am I ghost hunting or am I interdimensional being hunting? I don't know anymore. But thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.